the Director of Client Programs here at Mediagistic. Really excited to work with you folks. As Amy said, we have a lot of background in HVAC. I've worked at the agency for right about 12 years now, and since I've worked here, I've worked almost exclusively on HVAC accounts. So we're really excited to partner with Trane. Just to give you an idea, this presentation's been running right about 35 minutes or so. So I think we blocked out the hour, but barring any questions or anything, we should be able to get you out a little bit early. And with that, I'll get started. So as far as our agenda goes for today, we're going to give a little bit more background about Mediagistic. Kind of did a little bit of an introduction already. Hold on. And then we'll jump right into, as Amy talked about earlier, the new ad club we're calling PowerChoice. We'll talk about the specific offerings within PowerChoice. We'll talk about annual plans, and then which is another program that we offer outside of the PowerChoice program, and then we'll leave some time for questions. So, sorry. I don't know why it keeps unmuting. So again, about Mediagistic, Amy talked about it earlier. We are a full-service advertising agency. We're based in Tampa, Florida. This is our building. We do everything in-house. So we have a full media department. We have a creative department, graphic designers, internet marketing, content writers, account services, and kind of anything and everything in between. We even have a studio in our office where we can record voiceovers and do television and radio tags and things like that as well. And as I said earlier, we have a lot of experience dealing in HVAC. We've worked with brands like Carrier, Bryant, Mitsubishi Electric, Rude, York, Samsung, to name a few, just in the HVAC space. We do also, kind of specialize in that manufacturer-dealer type network. We work with Kawasaki to help their dealers brand themselves as well as Kawasaki. We also do a similar venture for a brand called Cut to Get. If you've ever been to Home Depot, you've probably seen their equipment. They manufacture riding mowers as well as a lot of other lawn and garden equipment. And then in addition to those, we also do some travel and tourism. We do some car dealers as well. But again, we're really excited to be here and work with you folks. One of the questions I'm often asked when I say we're a full-service advertising agency is what exactly does that mean? From my standpoint, that means essentially we do everything: TV, internet, newspaper, direct mail, billboard, radio, and everything in between. So if it relates to helping your dealers advertise and grow their business, chances are we can be a good resource for you and your customers to help them achieve those goals. I spoke earlier about our media resources. So we have a lot of subscriptions here at Mediagistic that allow us to be experts at local marketing. There are a lot of agencies that really focus on buying at a national level. Though we do that for certain clients, our expertise really lies in buying media at a local level, which is what the majority of these tools and subscriptions allow us to do. People are probably most familiar with Nielsen. That's probably the one that stands out the most, which we certainly subscribe to. But with all of these tools, we can go into any market in America, find out what the top rated station is, what the average going price is, and it really allows us to negotiate on our customers' behalf, drive down the cost, and then provide value to them in the form of a negotiated schedule. In addition to the media resources, we're also a Google Premier partner. That designation is only awarded to the top 3% of agencies across the country. It means we've passed Google's accreditations and reached the minimums that they require as far as dollars managed. We have some direct contacts at Google that work with us to help us better optimize our campaigns. It's a great partnership. They were actually here last week, and as we get into some of the internet sections of the presentation, you'll see a couple quotes they gave me that I thought were really good. But again, just something to hopefully make you and your customers feel comfortable about venturing into internet marketing with Mediagistic, that we definitely know what we're doing and have been doing it in the HVAC space for quite a while. So now we'll jump right into PowerChoice. As far as why a dealer would want to participate, certainly branding is a big benefit of the campaign. In my experience in dealing with dealers, many of them recognize that it's time to advertise after they should have kind of already put things in place. So a program like PowerChoice allows us to work with the marketing department, get all the media negotiated up front, and ensure that the dealer's advertising is going to get out in the marketplace on time. It's going to be consistent with whatever rebates or offers or promotions the factory's offering in that market. In addition to that, Trane is going to finance the program over a 12-month period, so the dealer can help offset their investment in that form. We try and make the programs very, very easy to participate in. That's our goal. Again, is just let us manage some, or in some cases all, of the dealer's advertising, so it's just one less thing they don't have to worry about. All the dealers that participate in PowerChoice, the investment amount will automatically be debited against any co-op funds they have, so they don't have to file the paperwork, they don't have to worry about whether or not the ad meets co-op guidelines, again another benefit. And then something else that we're excited to bring to the table is a new reporting dashboard that we're going to build out. It'll give you and your customers the ability to log in and see what's happening from a digital perspective, how many visitors, track phone calls, listen to phone calls, all that kind of fun stuff. So a lot more visibility to the program than from what I understand you've had in the past. As far as expectations, we have kind of 3 package levels for each product offering. You'll see that as we roll through. One of the things you can expect, and Amy touched on it earlier, is that our sales team will reach out to all of the dealers that are eligible for the Ad Club program and talk to them about it and really provide that kind of consultative approach. What have you done in the past? What's worked well? Where can we maybe complement what you're already doing, or maybe supplement an area that you're interested in getting in but don't really know where to start. So we're going to do that with every single customer. Also, from your folks' perspective, from a territory manager, you're going to be the first people that our sales people call to talk a little bit, get some background about your customers, understand, maybe on the back end what their goals and objectives are, what you'd like to see them get involved in, and just get a good understanding. Also, that way, we'll assign salespeople based on territory manager. So each of you, should have just one person you can reach out to if you have a question. Or if your dealers have questions, so just trying to make it easy on you folks as well. So we'll jump into broadcast television. One of the things you'll notice as we go through each of the product offerings is this kind of chart or gauge up in the top right-hand corner. You'll see this once the collateral's complete as well on each of the pages, and this is really just to set the proper expectation as far as what that product offering is designed to do. Broadcast television is definitely a branding mechanism. We can target by demographic using some of those tools that I showed earlier. It helps increase brand loyalty and credibility. People tend to feel more comfortable buying from a business that they've either seen on television or heard on radio, they're familiar with. It adds the credibility, and then also helps increase top of mind, so that if something does break or needs a replacement, they're more likely to remember that dealer. As far as the delivery goes, because we have a lot of different DSOs on the call, I didn't want to go through every single market for every single DSO, but you can expect a grid that will look like this. So it'll list the various markets. We have a good, better, best option, and then how many spots the dealers can expect to receive based on their market and investment level. One thing to keep in mind is these are absolutely the minimums that we expect to deliver, and we do commit to these. So if we tell a dealer, like let's see in market 4, that they're going to get 45 spots, we will absolutely deliver 45 spots. Once the campaign is over, we'll send out what we call a post log that'll show, your ad ran on ABC at 7:45 a.m., on April 12th, whatever it may be, so that they can add them up and feel comfortable that they got what they paid for, what they signed into. On that same note, historically we over-deliver in these situations by about 10 or 15%. Sometimes it's 30, 40, 50% more than what we list on the market sheets. There's always a moving target because we don't really know how many dealers will sign in a given market. the more dealers that participate, the more dollars we have, the more negotiating power we have, and the more we can drive down the cost and then pass along those savings to a dealer. But again, minimums we expect to deliver, and more often than not, you'll see we'll deliver quite a bit more than actually what's outlined here. Moving on to cable television, as far as the benefits go, it's certainly a branding play as well. Contrary to broadcast TV, cable allows you to really focus your advertising a lot more locally. You can buy cable in what they refer to as zone fashion or buy zone cable, which allows us to really kind of hone in on a geography, maybe a county, sometimes even half of a county, based on the dealer's target market. So that's one of the big benefits to cable television. You keep it very, very localized, which helps minimize waste. In other words, we refer to waste usually as eyeballs and ears that are outside of the dealer's service area. When they go through our sign-up process, one of the things that we're going to ask the dealers is to provide us with their top 5 zip codes in order of importance. When they do that, we will place them into the appropriate cable zone and then negotiate a schedule on their behalf. So we have kind of preset investment amounts as far as delivery goes. It would literally be thousands of zones across the various DSOs, and this slide would turn into like 15 slides. So, we have the preset. Just rest assured, based on the zip codes the dealers provide, we'll put them in the appropriate zone and then negotiate a schedule based on the investment amount they sign up at. Moving on from cable, then we go to radio. Radio is typically referred to as the frequency medium. It's a great way to reach people multiple times. One of the main reasons being is you can reach them in several different places: at home, in their car, at work, at the gym using tools like iHeart, and then certainly we're targeting by demographic as well. As far as delivery goes, again, when you get your specific market sheets, it'll have the markets in your area listed as well as delivery. Moving on to direct mail. Direct mail is definitely nothing new. It's been around and popular, pretty popular with a lot of dealers in the HVAC space, since I've been working in it. It's definitely got a lead gen component. Certainly anytime you get your brand name, logo, that kind of stuff in front of a customer, there is some inherent brand awareness or brand value that comes with that. But certainly our objective is to generate leads through direct mail and increase web traffic. We have 2 different offerings on the direct mail, and this is standard, doesn't matter what market you're in. We have a standard postcard, it's 8.5 by 5.5, and then we have a plastic postcard that's the same size, just a little heavier stock, designed to stand out in the mailbox a little bit more. As far as the way that these will be delivered, so we're going to identify in this example 4,000 homeowners. We will mail to them once in the spring, once in the fall, the same homeowner. But in the spring, we're going to split those 4,000 homes into 2,000 piece drops. So what that allows us to do is kind of hedge our bet against some sort of bad weather or something that could happen in the marketplace that might make the campaign a little bit less effective. I know we've run into this in the past. I'm sure you or your customers have as well, where you put a postcard into the postal system. You can't really reel it back in, and you're talking about spring and how hot it's going to get, and all of a sudden it drops to like 40 degrees, and it doesn't really have the impact you're hoping for. So splitting those out really helps us mitigate that possibility. Next, we're going to move into some of the digital or internet marketing type offerings that are included as a part of PowerChoice. Before we do, I wanted to make sure that we kind of talk through the fact that every single internet marketing offering that's included in PowerChoice will include a landing page that will be built by us on behalf of the dealer. And there's a couple reasons that we did that. One, in our discussions, with the marketing folks at Trane, the tracking and reporting was something that was very, very critical to them so they could get visibility. A landing page allows us to capture a lot more metrics than if it just goes off to a dealer's page. It also helps us create some brand and marketing consistency across the entire campaign. So if somebody gets a postcard with some visuals and imagery, we can make sure that if they happen to go online and look and they find a dealer's page, they're going to see some of those same elements. They'll have that consistency throughout the campaign. The pages will click through to the dealer's website. So if somebody does want to learn more about the dealer after they hit our landing page, they can definitely do that. And then last but certainly not least, in regard to why we wanted to implement this, was to make sure that we could capture a lot of mobile activity, which is becoming increasingly more viable, but also make sure that the user has a really good experience. If the dealer doesn't have a good mobile site, mobile optimized or responsive site, it can create a bad user experience and essentially kind of be a wasted click. Here are some examples. This is the kind of the creative that exists right now. It'll be updated once we have the 2017 creative, but you can see here kind of similar approach, look, feel, things like that between desktop and mobile. Both will include a call tracking number. On the mobile side, it's a click-to-call function, so you can just hit the phone number and dial right from there. Here are a few of the stats that I was referring to earlier that Google shared with us. One was that 58% of air conditioning search growth in 2015 was mobile, which again speaks to why we wanted to include these and definitely want to be able to capture as much of that mobile activity that's going on with respect to the HVAC industry. And also another one that we probably already knew, meaning all of us, if we just kind of sat down and thought about it, that in 2014 mobile search surpassed desktop and has continued to grow. So people are actually using their mobile device to do Google searches more than they are their desktop, and those numbers continue to separate from one another. So we're definitely making sure we're going to capture any and all mobile activity that we can. The first digital offering that we have is the Google Display Network. Definitely brand focused. I tend to refer to this as it's essentially the same thing as running an ad in the newspaper, but you're doing it on a website. The Google Display Network, Google created this quite a while back actually, and essentially what it is if you own a website that gets a good amount of hits and traffic, you can subscribe to the Google Display Network and Google will sell ad space on your behalf on your website. So as a website owner, you can focus on content and loading and making sure your website's nice, and then just collect what I would call mailbox money, from Google for the display ads that they show on your website. It's a very common practice. The Google Display Network is enormous. They have thousands of websites. From our perspective, some of the things that are beneficial is you can target relevant genres, so things that tend to lean a little bit older, maybe a little bit more affluent. You can also target geographically, which is a big benefit, so we can help minimize waste on behalf of the dealers and keep it in a relatively finite area on their behalf. And we'll promote these that will then, again, click through to the landing page. So whether they're visiting the site on their mobile device and click on our ad or on their desktop, they'll have a good experience. As far as the options go for the Google Display Network, we have a good, better, best. The good is a spring-only campaign for 3 months. The better is a spring-fall campaign. And then the best is also a spring-fall campaign, but essentially we're going to have an enhanced campaign. So we'll just be running more ads, more activity during that time frame. Moving on, the next option we have from an internet marketing perspective is the Weather Channel. We partnered with the Weather Channel about a year ago, and they gave us the opportunity to sell ad space on a number of their platforms at a local level, which is exactly what this product offering does. So we're going to run ads on Weather Underground, weather.com, and Intellicast.com. Those encompass most of the software that's already installed on your phone, so we can run display ads through those. It's very, very targeted. So if you remember the last time you got a mobile device and you log in to look at the weather, it asks you what's your zip code. Once you enter that in, we can then target based on that information. So again, when those dealers give us their top 5 zip codes, that's the information that we're going to use to target these types of ads. We can do mobile, tablet, and desktop. For the most part, in this product offering, we pretty much stick to mobile unless there's just not a lot of people in that area and we need to move to tablet or desktop. But for the most part, we stick with mobile. We've seen the best conversion using their mobile platforms, and then again, clicking through to that landing page. Here's some examples of what the ads may look like on a mobile device or on a desktop. Again, the 2017 creative's not done. These are just samples just to kind of show you where it would show up and what it may look like. As far as the offerings go, we have a spring, fall, and then a spring, summer, fall, working left to right on a good, better, best. Again, targeting the zip codes that the dealers provide during the sign-up process. Next, we have a social product offering. Social's kind of obviously been around for quite a while. The landscape has really changed with respect to internet marketing, or excuse me, social marketing, which is one of the reasons we wanted to include this. I got a couple good stats from our social media department. The first one was that 78% of SMBs get at least 1/4 of new customers via social media. And the next was 61% of people use social media as part of their buying process. This helps just kind of understand why we want to get involved in social media and make sure the dealers can be found. In addition to that, social media used to kind of work under the mantra, if you build it, they will come. And essentially what that means is that if you go back 3, 4, or 5 years, the whole goal was just to build a company Facebook page, spend a little bit of time every week, make a few posts, and customers would kind of organically find it and come and ultimately convert at some point or another. Well, Facebook has got kind of an infinite quest to try and earn as much money as possible, and in that they've really restricted the way that businesses can market themselves using the Facebook in particular, using their platform. So they really minimize, even if a business owner on Facebook goes and posts something, Facebook will actually restrict the amount of its followers that will see that messaging without putting dollars behind it. So we wanted to be able to offer something here that helped them not only reach their existing customers, but potentially find new customers as well. So we have a product offering here. It's focused exclusively on Facebook. We do, for some of our other customers and some other products, we do Twitter, we do Instagram, we do other things. This one in particular is geared just towards Facebook. Definitely branding anytime you're on social media is a component. But we have seen quite a bit of lead generation come as a result of our Facebook campaigns, which is why we wanted to include it in here. We can definitely specify geographically where we want to target. Facebook knows a lot more than probably any of us would like to admit or know about us. So they have certain ways that we can target different profiles from, homeowners, their age, affluency, things like that. And these ads actually, rather than being an actual post on the dealer's Facebook page, these show up directly in the news feed as a sponsored post. So any Facebook users out there, you've probably seen these. They become more prevalent in about the last year or so, and that's exactly what we do. So again, here's some examples. These are not necessarily what they'll look like in 2017, but just some examples of what the ads may look like as you're scrolling through. You would see this kind of sponsored section. We'll have the dealer's name included in the text. One of the pieces I do like to point out is Facebook really restricts the amount of text that you're able to use and any images that you load as a part of one of these campaigns. They don't allow any more than 20% of the graphic to be text and or a logo. So when we run this campaign, just don't be surprised when it's very picture heavy and text light. That's what Facebook requires. As far as those offerings go, very similar to what we showed for the Weather Channel. We have a spring, fall, a spring, summer, fall, moving from $3,600 to $9,000, depending on what the dealer is looking for. Next, we have the performance marketing section. So this is pay-per-click, sometimes called PPC. This has been around for quite a while, and Google is really making a lot of adjustments to put even more emphasis on the paid section of the search results. Surprise, surprise, that's how Google makes most of their money. So they're making adjustments on their end to really showcase that section even more than they used to in an effort to make more money. So some of the benefits of the performance marketing section here, extremely lead generation focused because we're targeting what I would kind of call bottom of the funnel type leads. So people actively searching in the dealer's service area for AC repair, AC replacement, and any combination thereof. So, definitely a section where we anticipate, generating leads on behalf of the customers. And we focus in this campaign exclusively on Google. Some of our other campaigns we've done Yahoo and Bing, and are certified in those as well. But as far as this one goes, we're going to focus strictly on Google because it reaches 95% of all internet users. Much like television and radio, the pay-per-click section, the pricing varies by market. So if you're in a larger market, the minimum investment is going to be a little bit higher. If they're in a more rural area, the minimum investment is going to be a little bit lower. Again, you'll see all this once the marketing books are done. But we have a spring only, spring fall, and then an enhanced spring fall where we'll just run more advertising on their behalf. Next section we're going to cover is what we refer to as Powerplan. Powerplan is a product offering that at Mediagistic we've had for about 5 or 6 years now, and this is essentially going to replace what used to be called the concierge program. Because we already have this product offering, we thought it makes sense just to kind of use our branded name, but essentially this will replace the concierge program with that minimum $25,000 investment. Some of the benefits the dealers get, although regardless of what investment level they sign in at, they will get some sort of a consultative approach. The one in Powerplan is even more in-depth. We'll do market research. I'll show you an example of what that is here in a moment. And then also, one of the benefits that Trane has added into this program is that if we do radio or television as a part of their Powerplan, we'll actually do a custom ad for radio or television for the dealer. So if they want to promote that they've been in business since 1956, or that they're family owned and operated, or maybe all of their technicians are NATE certified, whatever's important to them, we'll work with them and record that custom tag. Whereas the radio and television offerings for the regular PowerChoice are kind of set in stone right out of the gate. So a little bit more flexibility in this program. The Powerplan works under the kind of old adage that plan your work, work your plan. That's exactly our objective. The first thing we need to understand when we're putting one of these together is, where's the dealer's service area? Where do they want to target? And where are they looking to grow? So what you see here is an example of a dealer in Beaumont, Texas, who helped us, identify their service area and also the areas they were looking to grow. With that information, we then use some of the tools that I described earlier in the presentation, one of which being a DMA map, which you see here on the right-hand corner. This is, again, a DMA map. It stands for Designated Market Area. And what this map represents is the broadcast television footprint, in this instance in Beaumont, Texas. So if you run on ABC, NBC, CBS, or Fox, essentially if you're in this kind of number 4 shaded area, you're going to see the same ad as everyone else. So that's number 1, is to be able to look at this and then see, okay, how many households are we going to reach? How many households are we going to reach that are outside of the area the dealer is looking to cover? In some instances, waste is okay as long as it's not excessive. So we want to evaluate that, look how many weeks we could run, how many stations, what the weight of the schedule would be. Then we'll start looking at radio. This is the MSA map. So essentially the same thing, but now we're looking at the broadcast radio coverage in that market. Households goes down only slightly. We've eliminated all of the waste. We can still run a lot of weeks, a lot of stations, very good weight. So in this instance, broadcast radio kind of presents itself as being the most viable option. Now, in the event these ones don't work, we can look at cable. We can even look at digital radio, so something perhaps like Pandora or iHeart as an option also. So we'll continue to investigate until we find one that we know is going to make sense for that customer and that we can afford and run a solid schedule on their behalf. Once we've done all that kind of homework, so to speak, we'll lay out the plan, for the dealer so that they can have a copy in their office. They know when and where their advertising is going to run. We'll also plot the average high-low temperatures for every participating dealer. I would say in a perfect world, you run advertising 52 weeks a year. But most of our customers' budgets don't allow them to do that. So if they can advertise 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 weeks a year, we know that understanding what the weather patterns are like in their market, we can help them select on their behalf the best 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 weeks during the year that will give them the best return on their investment. We'll also look at the promotional periods for sure to make sure that our advertising is running in conjunction with those, and then kind of lay out the plan. So we may include internet marketing. That one included a reputation monitoring. We have broadcast radio, Pandora, and then 2 different pieces of direct mail. Again, this is just a sample. Every dealer that we go through this process for, their campaign calendar could very well look similar or very different, just depending on where they're located, goals and objectives, and various other kind of criteria. Moving on from Powerplan, we're going to talk about our Lead Builder product. This is available as a part of the Powerplan program. It doesn't have to be in addition to, but this is our trademarked internet marketing product offering. Lead Builder's been around at Mediagistic for about 7 years or so. We just recently released version 10 of this product, and it's something that we're really, really proud of. Internet marketing as a whole tends to be looked at in kind of 2 different buckets. The first one being search engine optimization, and the other one being paid. But the Lead Builder program is significantly more complex than that. Lead Builder takes into account a lot of different avenues that we can help grow a presence for a dealer online, and implements all of them. So we syndicate their content to various business directories. We have social components that are included. We have definitely paid and search engine optimization, various reporting that can be included as a part of the Lead Builder program. And then also we have different products that either help dealers to cultivate and get new reviews, monitor reviews that are happening online, give them notifications so they can see what's happening, what people are saying about their business online. And also we have some product offerings through social and reviews that will actually allow for a live person at Mediagistic to read and respond to any reviews that are going on online. So our Lead Builder product was kind of built under the belief that in order to be successful and sustainable over the long haul for internet marketing, we want to put as many hooks in the water as possible. This product, again, like I said, we're really, really proud of. On average, most of our Lead Builder customers at the end of their first year of the campaign average about $35 to $50 cost per lead. And some year 2, 3, and 4 customers, we have some that are working on single digits, $8 or $9 cost per lead. Again, this is an option to be included as a part of the Powerplan campaign. Our Lead Builder products start right around the $24,000 mark, which is why it's a possible component of Powerplan. Depending on what the dealer's budget is, it may include Lead Builder as well as some media and maybe some direct mail also. It just all depends. That's some of the evaluation process we have to do on their behalf. As far as signups go, we've secured a website, TranePowerChoice.com. You can go there, but it's not ready just yet for the dealers to go and enroll. We'll have a marketing book, and I apologize, I didn't recognize that this was still in here. For each of the separate DSOs. So it'll have a / VA for Virginia, KY for Kentucky. We'll send out a notification once all those are available, but those links will allow you and your dealers to look at all of the same kind of things that we covered here today, a little bit more in depth. It'll give all the pricing, it'll show all the markets in their area for them to be able to evaluate and read through, as well as for you guys. So that's kind of the signups as well as those marketing books are coming soon, but we're working fast and furious on those as we speak. The last section, and we're almost done here, we're at about 35 minutes, that I want to cover is our annual plan program. So this program is not eligible or not a part of the PowerChoice program, but it's something that is available to your customers if it's of interest to them. Our Powerplan program has been around for about 8 years, and it's something that we're very proud of. This is basically kind of our flagship program. It's designed for dealers that spend in excess of $100,000 in advertising. We currently have about 60 annual plans in the HVAC space that we do marketing for all across the country. We do all of their internet, all of their media, all of their direct mail. This program is very, very customized. We help identify a brand identity. We'll build everything custom, essentially, for the dealers based on what they're looking to achieve. It's a great program, and again, one that we're really proud of. While I'm kind of talking about it, I'm throwing up a few quotes of some existing annual plan customers and what they've said about the program. In addition to the customization that is involved in annual plan, every dealer will also be assigned an internal account team. They'll have regular scheduled phone calls where they can review reporting, make sure that they're getting ahead and staying on track with whatever plan the dealer reviewed and approved. They get some additional access to reporting. They'll talk in some instances actually with our digital strategists, those people that are managing their internet marketing efforts on a daily basis. So again, if you have some dealers that are spending or investing that kind of money in marketing their business, but maybe they have a direct mail vendor, they have somebody else who does their internet and somebody else who does their media buys, we've seen that as one of the biggest benefits to dealers who come on board in this program, is that they can have one point of contact, one person to reach out to, and then also one agency that helps make sure that they, their brand identity and consistency happens throughout all of their marketing efforts. Just a quick recap, we are experienced, and again, these are going to vary, so please excuse the dollar amounts and things, because it will vary by market. But as far as some key takeaways, we are experienced in HVAC. Like I said, we've been doing this for about 15 years. We have solutions that can satisfy dealers that spend $3,000 in marketing or $300,000. And we have the turnkey solutions to make it very, very easy for the dealers to participate. So with that, I certainly appreciate everyone's time. I'm going to take a moment here and take everyone off of mute and give you an opportunity to ask some questions if you may have some. So does anybody have any questions? Wow, none at all. Okay. Well, not a problem. Again, certainly appreciate everyone's time. If you think of anything, certainly you can reach out to Amy, and she can pass along my information, and be glad to help out, answer any questions you may have, and I certainly look forward to working with all of you. So appreciate your time and have a great day.